traders, to our post-week market review. Obviously I apologise that this is not being posted on the usual Saturday. However, do not stress, as it doesn't matter if this is posted on the Saturday or Sunday, as it is a post-market weekly review and we will be going over the market no matter what. So starting things off here, as you remember from our starter week write-up technical analysis, we established that price was testing at the level of around 3,365 as what seemed to be a resistance on the higher time frames. We then saw a drop in price, with price creating lower lows and lower highs before we saw a final test of around the area of 3,347. Price then came back down and dropped down to around 3,287, with price then coming back up, creating a new higher high at 3,325 before we saw gold absolutely plummet, touching around the area of 3,245. So as you can see, since that overall bearish move where price touched 3,245, we haven't seen price come back down to that area. So it seems that the substantial part of this bearish move was over by around Thursday, Asian session time, which technically is the Wednesday. So upon that happening, we saw then Thursday creep in through the Asian session, and London session then picked up its pace again, and the volatility and volume then entered the market. Price then came up to this area here at around 3,330, with price then dropping back down, and where price is currently right now, which is testing a key point of interest on the lower time frames. If I go ahead and go to our minute 15, you can see that this level is definitely a point of interest that we want to take into account going into next week. Why is that? So the reason for that being is, as you can see, if I go ahead and grab a brush real quick, you can see that price has tested this area as a support many times, and what looks to be now, price is testing this area as a resistance. So what could this mean for gold? It can mean one of two things. If we see this bearish momentum continue that we are currently seeing, we are looking for price to come back down to test this area. If we see price become bearish upon market open, which in fact is in around 15 minutes, if we see price become bearish, we're looking at this point of interest, and if price holds at around the level of around 3,275, we're expecting price to then become bullish after this bearish move and push up to around 3,325. However, as you can see, there is some liquidity resting below this previous low. If I go ahead and mark this in for you real quick, right there. So another option that we could see for a continuation or a continued bearish move is if price sweeps this previous liquidity resting below this low here, and price then to continue to our next point of interest, which will be around the 3,205 mark. So if we do see this at level broken of around 3,270, we're definitely going to expect a substantial or a significant bearish move, driving price all the way down to 3,200. However, there is definitely a possibility for a bullish move in this scenario, and what we are looking for is for price to drop back through, or sorry, push back above this level here. As you can see here, we definitely did test just above this level as a resistance. If we see price push in and past these resistance levels, or this exhaustion that we can see via these wicks, if we see price to sort of push here on our minute 15 and close above any of these previous levels, we most likely will see a bullish continuation. Going back to our hour, what could a bullish continuation do for gold? We could potentially see price push up and break through these previous highs and come up to around our next point of interest, which is around 3,355. So I feel like for a post-week market review, especially this time round, especially as we had an in-depth mid-week review, I want to keep it short and sweet, get straight to the point. There's no point waffling on about too many things, as I feel like we have covered them this week already. So again, for one more time, we're going to conclude gold. So overall, gold has been bearish this week, sort of creating lower highs and lower lows. As you can see, obviously we found this pattern here. So we had a high, we had a higher low, a lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we actually equaled this previous lower high and then created a higher low. So we are definitely in a sort of more of a bullish structure in comparison to this whole section here. However, there is still a few more things that we need to see happen for gold to then push up and completely wipe out any of this previous data. So that's going to be our post-week market review. I hope you have all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you in our start of week technical analysis write-up. Remember, I will be posting this technical analysis write-up for tomorrow. I will be posting it at the end of the day once the day has played itself out a little bit. But yeah, I hope you are all in tune with the market, have a better understanding of what you can expect for the following day, and I will catch you in our start of week technical analysis. Peace.